Hello everyone, Misfit here from cOOp Guys Gaming, back with another Minecraft episode. I have become sick of travelling through this very long, narrow, confining tunnel. Whenever I have to go visit those guys, this tunnel is always an offset. It's really annoying to go through all the time, and I'm pretty sure the other guys are very annoyed as well whenever they come and visit me of travelling through this tunnel. So, I finally decided I'm going to make a proper tunnel. One with minecarts and the whole works. And I've brought some building materials for that purpose. It's all spread out, and I've got a lot of chests mainly because I'm going to have so much netherrack by the end of this, I have no idea what to do with it. But I'm not going to just leave it, I'll probably just store it anyway, because I don't throw anything away. Not often anyway. But yeah, let's got a bit of an idea about what I want to do with this. Just give me a moment to get a few things together and I'll show you. Okay. Right, so I've got an idea about this tunnel. It's going to be quite a big affair. So, what I want is 3 minecart tracks. One of them is going to be an outbound track, another one will be an inbound track, and the one in the middle will just be for transporting cargo, which is not an issue right now, but I think it might be an issue in the future, mainly because it's a long trek, and as I learned from bringing all those items back from the shopping spree episode, when I was bringing everything back from TMH's not shopping centre, his villager breeder, when I bought all my diamond armor and tools and things like that, that took quite a long time to bring back. And in case anybody else needs anything in the future from me, or I need a lot of stuff from them, I'm going to put in a cargo train so that it can be done easily. But just to give you an idea on the kind of tunnel I'm planning, I'm just going to build a bit of a prototype. Nothing is quite set in stone yet, and I do have a planned layout on a creative server which I'll show you, but I'm going to have to change it because the tunnel I made is actually a bit too big, and I will show you why later on. There we go. This is going to be for the cargo track. This is for the cargo track. This is just gonna mark the boundary between them. That's actually for 2 reasons. The first one is it separates one track from another. Second one is that mobs can't spawn on ice. So it's actually quite good for making a room mob proof without having to half slab it. Which is kind of what I'm going to do with this tunnel. Ideally, no mobs are going to be able to spawn in this tunnel once it's finished. Even without lighting, because I know ice and lighting is quite tricky. Okay, so we're going to have 3 tracks like this. This one in the middle is for cargo, this one is for outbound, and this one's for inbound. And also, to stop the mobs from spawning on it, we are going to have half slabs above it. But what I haven't decided yet is if I want the half slabs to be there, above the track, or to be hanging down for the ceiling. I actually wish I had a minecart on me, although I do have some spare iron. Yeah. One sec, I'm just gonna quickly craft a minecart, and I'm just gonna see what it's like to pass through them. Okay, push. Oh, you don't even pass through that one. Oh, I might go for that actually. Ow. That was weird. Okay, well let's try that then. Let's try having a bunch of these here, which is now annoying because now I can't get back in. There. See that from a distance. Let's get rid of that one. Yeah, that'll be okay, I think. Okay, so yeah, minecart tracks with these hanging above it, which means that no mobs can actually spawn, and also at the side. Basically, if you don't want to go down this tunnel on a minecart, which you don't have to, I'm going to have. I think it's actually going to be. Whoa! Okay. Didn't know that was there. That's going to make things a bit complicated. Anyway, I can get more ice. No, you did not. He didn't. Good boy. Anyway, so along the side here, I'm gonna have one path of ice here and another path of ice there. But again, I'm gonna have half slabs above it. There we go. Just so that you can have that sprint 2 block high jump thing. I'll try and demonstrate it here because I learned it when I dug this tunnel. You're sprinting down this tunnel, and if you bash the jump button, you launch yourself quite a fast distance. The problem with this tunnel is just like that. Sometimes you'll bounce off the side wall and you'll get ricocheting between here. So I'm gonna build 2 of those sort of ice-assisted sprint jump lanes, one on each side of the tunnel, just so that you can travel a bit, because it actually does travel faster than a minecart. So if you don't want to go all the way in a minecart, then you don't have to. So one of the reasons I'm doing this is because I hate traveling down this tunnel. But the other reason is that the guys were on the other night, and we were just discussing just the transportation in the Nether in general, because we're getting to the point now where we're going to be quickly shuffling around between areas, and we want a reliable way of getting there. So, and reliable, quick, and safe, which is another thing, because the reason why we're hanging around up here in the roof of the Nether is because not many mobs are spawning. So when we were talking, pardon the mess here, we were trying to figure out a place where pretty much all of the tunnels intersect, and we came up with this. So down there is my tunnel and my base. Down here, straight down that tunnel, is TMH, and just a bit to the right is Reaper's Village. And also not too far away from Reaper's Village is TMH's little secret project under construction thing as well. We're starting to get a whole bunch of locations ready to go, but we need a place to connect them all. So we're going to build a hub here. This will be like a central foyer. Also, not too far away down that tunnel is the temple start where we all started off in the server, and pretty close to that is the general spawn for the whole server, so we'll probably have another couple of doorways here for them. Now, the problem I had when I because I designed the tunnel before we built this, or dug this out anyway, and the original tunnel I had designed was a considerably bit larger than this. In fact, it was almost as wide as this room. But that's why I'm going to redesign it, because my tunnel would just completely overshadow the others. I'll go have a look at the tunnel design in the creative server, and then we'll come back here and we'll actually start building the modified version with whatever we come up with. So yeah, this is kind of the size of the tunnel I was hoping for. It's yeah, upon reflection it probably is a tad too big. This path here was just so that you could sprint jump along as you normally would on ice, whereas this one here was for the, see how fast that was. So sprinting and then just spamming the spacebar, just flying along there. It's going to be too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these outer pedestrian tracks. I'm going to move the too high portion down to here. I'm going to have a play around in creative and see if I can find a way of not only making this smaller but also a bit more practical. Alright, well, how about this? It is a little bit smaller. It's still pretty big. But it's more compact, uses less resources. Well, a little bit less resources. But one thing I like about it is that I've covered the whole top of this thing in half slabs because I discovered something a bit interesting. That when I had this whole thing covered in half slabs and joined up to walls here, when you're in the here it looks really, really cramped. But getting a minecart, ta-da! Nice big open space. The only thing you can see is this little grid that pops up in front of you, but I guess you could turn that off actually. So yeah, I really like this. Might have made this bit a bit too big. I might bring that top layer down one. But yeah, I really like this. Unfortunately, when you're in this thing, you can't actually get out without breaking stuff. So the other thing I need to consider is, because it's being built in the nether, I'm going to have to wrap it up in a protective casing. So probably just going to use stone brick. And then I'll tally up how big this thing is. If I need to make it any smaller, even though I don't think I can now. Because I've worked on it a lot and I'm dead set on this now. Even if the entrance to it from the hub is pretty small and it only has the minecart tracks and maybe a couple of holes in the wall to access the paths, and then you come down and it opens up into this. Oh yeah, another little slight problem is I have to have this piece jutting out a bit, because it's a diagonal track, which I hate diagonal tracks. It's one of the because it's a diagonal tunnel, it's one of the reasons why this thing is so big. I did consider making a big tunnel that was just along, and then it took a corner and then came this way. But diagonal tunnels are a challenge. And although this thing would look pretty cool if it was straight, I think it looks good the way it is. These stairs definitely give it some character. Yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can build something like this. I probably won't build the whole thing in one go. In fact, I won't build the whole thing in one go. I think what I'll probably do is I'll build one of the rail tracks first, just so we can actually get around quicker in the meantime, and then I will expand the whole thing over time. Although I'll probably start from my end, my portal, and work my way towards the hub. And I'll see how things go from there. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back onto the survival server, and I'm gonna start at least laying the center track. Okay, so I had another think, and yeah, that one's probably still a bit too big. So I came up with another one that's a little smaller. Basically, this one only has one minecart track in it. I think, yeah, 3 was probably too excessive. The only reason I wanted an inbound and an outbound is just in case two people were on the tracks at the same time and they were heading different directions. I didn't want them to bump into each other halfway through. But I doubt they're going to be using them that much where that's going to be too much of a problem. So I'm just going to have one track. The cargo track, that's another problem that I'll deal with another day if it arises. I might just have like a second minecart track under here. As much as I like that design, I like this one too. But I still feel like I'm sacrificing a lot. But this thing is still pretty wide. I mean, width-wise, it is about 22 blocks, including the stone brick protection layer that's going to be around it. But I'm going to funnel the entranceway, I think, to the hub, so that it will just be the minecart tracks. In fact, I did something else over here. This is a bit of a mess. I was just experimenting with the idea. I will tidy this up when I build the final version, but I do still have an inbound and an outbound embarkation area. So basically, here's how it works. You've got your minecart sitting here, and you push the button to send it on its way while you're in it, probably. So you send it out, some trapdoors open above, and another minecart drops into place. Which is fantastic. I love this idea. And then eventually, if a cart is coming back, it will veer off here, and you will be, if you're coming from that direction and coming back to this location, you will be here. You will get out the minecart. You'll stand on this pressure plate, and then the minecart heads back up. Oh, it's difficult to see. Minecart heads up this track and back on top of this stack of minecarts, so that the minecarts are recycled and they're always ready to use. So we'll give it a little ride just to see what it's like here. And then on our way back, we veer off to here. We get out the minecart, stand on the pressure plate, and the minecart is sent back to be ready for the next use. So yeah, as I said, this is just I'm just testing this thing out. This is not going to be a final layout, that's for sure. Considering this would be in the floor of the hub, what I'll probably have is a piece of track here and another piece of track here. This stack here is probably a bit too tall to have, because our hub is only 10 blocks away from the ceiling bedrock. This is probably too tall. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably have this hidden behind the wall of the hub, and this will feed directly into that. And then there'll probably be a much longer minecart track that will take them from the bottom and bring them all the way back up. And minecarts will probably just come out of a wall or something and just land on this track. So that's an idea for another smaller one. It's like this system is a compromise for losing the other two tracks. Is that I still have an inbound and an outbound launching point. I also experimented with a straight tunnel idea. This is basically the one where I'll go along and then take a corner and then to get to where I need to go. This is very straight, very uniform. A little dull, if you ask me. I mean, if I'm traveling through the tunnel in this one here, this looks a lot more interesting, even with that ghastly corner, which I might just get rid of actually and just pop ice in. That's a bit of a compromise. Yeah, I might do that. Kind of ruins the effect there, but that's alright. But yeah, actually it's a little bit more interesting when you're traveling through it. This one, even though it all fits together nicely, it's just not very interesting. I could probably spruce it up, but I don't know. I like the idea of a diagonal tunnel. And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 wide. 13 versus 32. I don't know. I will be going on to the survival server to at least make a straight diagonal track so people can get to my place a lot more easily. I'll see how this thing actually fits in whether or not I want to build a diagonal track or a straight track. I'm really indecisive on this matter, but the straight one is all fair and good, but I do prefer this diagonal, even though this bit is a mess. I will be tidying up and hiding it. I might even just, the entrance to my tunnel, I might make quite small. I might have the minecarts going in, and I might just have the stairs so you can just walk over the minecart onto the ice. So it doesn't take up, won't appear to take up too much room, even though it actually will. I don't know. But anyway, I'm long overdue to get onto the survival server and actually build this thing, so I'm gonna go do that now. Okay, so we are in the Nether, back on the survival server. I've just started doing a little bit of the layout here for the tunnel. So this is going to be the track, that's going to be the paths, and then there'll be the walls of the tunnel there and there. But what I was going to do was put some stone brick under this ice. But it's going to be a bit difficult considering that there isn't any blocks nearby I can actually place under there. Although I have to say, I do quite like the fact that I can see the Nether through the ice. As pretty cool as that is, I don't want to be able to. I would rather have the ice protected by stone brick in case somehow the ghast see you through a corner or something. So I'm gonna probably go down and then pillar up, just so I can get some stone brick under there. Not only that, but it looks kind of weird from below. There we go. Okay, well I don't have too much time left this episode, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start building this track like I said I would, and I'll be able to do the ice and the rest of it from there. So just seeing how much space I actually need for the track. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll stick out a 6th thing each way. I really should start from the other side before I do this. Don't want to trap myself. 2, 3, 4. Right, well, I don't actually know how many diagonal tracks it takes for you to be going at top speed. I guess it's twice that of a straight line track, so I'm guessing it's going to be like a powered rail every 16 blocks or something. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so let's put that there. Put a snow block there, and we're going to need a lever under there. Oh. Okay. Please tell me there's one below that. There's not. Alright, I'm going to try and find a way of getting this lever under there. Alright, managed to find some nether brick, nether rack. That was just close enough. And that's not powering them. Why is that not powering them? Oh, well that exercise might have been pointless. Oh well, I guess I'm going to have to leave the levers on top then. That's not too bad. Oh well. Back to building. Just gonna hollow out a big section of this tunnel just so I can get to building a bit quicker. Right, well, let's see. We've done a fair bit of this track now. So I think we've done, we're almost a third of the way actually. There we go. Really don't like the jerky motion of the diagonal tracks, but we've got to live with it. There we go. So that's how far we have done. We are now, we started off there at minus 280, minus 280. Now we're almost at minus 200, 200. And I think, if I remember rightly, got to get down, because the hub that we're going to be building is round about 50, minus 50, minus 50, something like that. So still got a fair length of this tunnel to go, but it's coming along. It's getting there. Anyway, I'm gonna go work on this tunnel some more, and I think I'll call this an episode. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye now.